Okie dokie, we are live.
Woo! So excited.
I am very excited. I've been looking forward to this. Always look forward to this. But
yeah, these are always so much fun. Also, I'm looking down because I have YouTube up on my phone here so I can see the comments. So if you see me looking down, that's why.
Sorry. I tried to mute it before it went live, but it wouldn't let me. So, my apologies.
It's okay.
Can you not see the comments from the dashboard?
I'm not sure. Oh. No, I can't. Because it wants me to connect a YouTube channel on my end.
Okay, it must just be me.
Oh, I can see them. Actually, I can see them, but I can't comment to them.
Okay.
So I'll just comment on my phone if.
Welcome, Heather. We're glad you're here. Hi.
Also, yes, glad you're here, Heather. We missed you last time.
We did. Also, pardon Pepper in the background.
I'm so sorry. Guys, he is behind 2 sets of closed doors. I don't know what else I could do.
Well, and he's okay.
Yes. Yeah, he's just mad that he's not here.
Yeah.
But I didn't want him because around this time, there's this family that takes their dogs out and they run in the yard out here. And then he goes, dogs out the window. And I was like, we're not doing that. So I'll put him away. Apparently we're doing it anyways. But it's fine.
It's fine. We are very excited to have you guys. This is our February recap. Already.
February was just, I don't even know what happened.
We'll get into that. Yeah. And we're also really excited because this is the first time we've done like a Friday at 3:00 thing, I think. But we had several people who said that this was a better time for them than doing like Thursday evenings, which is what we normally do. So if you missed the survey, let us know. Go fill it out. If not, we're going to try Friday afternoons because that seems to be the time that people want. So
yes.
And of course, you can always catch the replay if you missed the live.
It's not as much fun doing the replay, but yes, you still have access to the replay.
But we like to interact, so it's fun to have people interacting. Ooh, yes. Heather says she finally started Winter, White, and Wicked.
I can't wait to hear what you think of that. I love that book so much, obviously.
That one's still on my TBR.
Girl, I need you to read it.
I know. Among all the other things we're reading.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get to it. Okay, speaking of interacting, though, we'll go ahead and get this announcement out of the way. Next month is April, which is our first Zoom of the year. So keep an eye out sometime soon. Cassie and I need to chat and figure out times to send you guys. But sometime soon, we'll send out the email to schedule the Zoom chat for everybody. For those of you who are new, the Zoom chat is different than the live streams. The live stream, we love to interact with you guys in the chat and see what you guys are reading and hear all things. But mostly, Cassie and I kind of recap our month, essentially, and talk about the challenge. In the Zoom, it's like, and not that we're like at all formal here in the live stream, but the Zoom is like pretty chill. It's really just like a hangout call where we get to talk about books, whether or not we're reading them, books we want to read. It doesn't have to do with the challenge necessarily, but we do usually end up talking about the challenge, and we like to see your faces. And it's really just kind of a hangout, cozy, laid-back call.
Yeah. Now we get to hear from you, because right now you just hear us talk for 30 minutes, right? So like in the Zoom calls, we actually get to talk to you guys. So we love that.
We're excited. So, and we love it when you are able to chat with us in the live streams too. Don't get the wrong impression.
Right. Yes, of course. It's just different. It's a different kind of chat.
It doesn't have a structure. The live streams, we kind of have a structure. We have questions that we're asking and different, like it's accountability in the live streams. That's really why we started those, is so that we could talk about those. And thank you, Heather. She says,
thanks, Heather.
To hear us to talk. We appreciate that because we're a little bit crazy, and if y'all are around for any limited amount of time, you will figure that out. But
Yeah, we may talk a lot.
We don't really have an agenda for the Zooms. We just show up and we're like, what do you guys want to talk about? So
yeah,
we have fun with that. Okay, do you want me to go first this month?
Sure. We'll change it up. I don't think we've ever had you go first.
I don't think we have either, but I just happen to know what you're going to do. So,
what am I going to do?
The number of books you read.
Oh.
Thought maybe you would want to go second.
That's fair. It doesn't really matter. It's all going to come out in the end.
Okay. Let me
comment how many books you think I read this month, because I want to see how many of you can guess how many books I read this month.
We did do that one time when we did the guess how many books we read one month. We should do that more regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first two I don't own, but Cassie does. So the first book I read this month was The Unraveling of Inland Lane. And it's gorgeous. I love the cover. I can't wait to own it. I just
also have you seen the?
No, haven't. Oh yes, I have. You have shown me. Oh, this story was so much fun. I loved this book. And it's funny. It would have gone on last month, but I needed like one extra day or something. It was like just barely on February. So Cassie's made it on. We were technically buddy reading it, but Cassie's technically in January or in February.
In January. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah. In January.
Heather says that's why it's fun. Well, good. We've talked about doing like a podcast, and we're like, we don't know what we would do a podcast about, but it would be a little crazy.
I mean, we could just talk for an hour and see what happens. I just don't know if anyone wants to hear us talk for an hour.
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So great book. We technically buddy read it. It just the way the dates lined up, it fell for me technically in my February recap. Atomic Habits was the next one that I finished. I did this one as a group read. Heather said she would. Heather,
we love you, Heather.
Make her our first guest. Look, we're already lining up guests, and we don't even have podcasts.
Yeah.
Also, Atomic Habits. Excellent.
Funny story with this one. We'll talk more about this next month, but I finished this February or March 2nd. So technically I have read this too, but it doesn't count for this recap. So you'll have to hear me talk about it next time.
We didn't actually buddy read that one, so to speak. I think.
No, but it's kind of funny how we read this one a month apart. Yeah. Barely, and this one a month apart, barely.
Yeah. So. I have a coaching group who went through Atomic Habits. They were like, we're going to go have our monthly coaching session talking about habits, and we're going to do a group read with Atomic Habits for anybody who wants to. And I was like, oh, that's been on my TBR for 2 years, so I guess I'm going to do that. And then when I told Cassie, this is so good, I've been reading it, she's like, I've been wanting to read that. So then she picked it up, and that's how word of mouth works, people.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. Okay, so those were the first two. The rest of them I do have except for one, but that's okay. So then the next one I read is called Sea Witch. It's a little dark in here at the moment, but you can see the tentacles and stuff. A very cool cover. Very cool cover. A little dark, a little violent. So watch your content levels if that's something that's a problem for you. It was not my favorite read of the month, and I was a little disappointed because I really wanted it to be. It's okay. It had some good stuff. It just, I have conflicted feelings about it. Okay, and this one I've been reading for months and finally finished, The Two Towers.
Yes, it's about time. We were buddy reading it. I finished it a year ago, but that's fine.
Part of that was that my library took forever to get me the hold. The other part of that is that I'm just a slow audiobook reader. So I was listening to the audio version because Andy Serkis did a version, and why would I not? But it took me a hot minute to get through it. So, fun fact, we're actually going to watch the movie tonight. Cassie and I, after this, we'll have a movie party. You've never seen the movies or never read the books? Which one was it?
I had never read the second or third book. I read the first book. And I have seen all the movies.
And she has seen the movies. Okay. I'm particularly excited because what was it like? I feel like it was just last year, but I think it was 2 years ago that you had me read Harry Potter. 2 or 3
years ago.
That feels like it was just recently.
Honestly, I feel like you read Harry Potter before we started the challenges.
Well, so I did it over the course of 2 years. I did half of it in 1 year and half of it another year.
Okay.
So I think that
the second half may have been part of the challenge. I don't know though.
We'll have to look. But anyways,
yeah.
So Harry Potter is like her favorite thing ever. Lord of the Rings is like my favorite thing ever.
And in case you were wondering.
Yeah, so there's her little floating candles and all her memorabilia and whatnot. But I've been really excited because I really wanted her to watch the movies. And she's like, the movies are so freaking long. And I was like, so are all of the 8 Harry Potter movies. So I finally won her over and she has agreed to watch the movies with me. And we've already watched the first one. I finished the second book, so she's going to watch the second one with me tonight so that she can get a refresher because it's been a hot minute since she finished the book. And then we're going to read the third book. And
I almost feel like we should do that next rather than the other one we're going to read, but it's fine.
I've been waiting on that one, friend.
I know, but I've been waiting on this one for a year.
Right, but to be fair, and we'll tell you guys about this book next month because we're about to read it. You're doing the audio and I'm doing the physical, so it should be fine. We should be done with it in like 2 weeks. So it'll be fine. Heather says she watched the movies once and season 1. Okay, Rings of Power is not the same. It's the same franchise, but it's not anywhere near the same level of quality as the other stuff. I did enjoy. I watched the first season. I was like, this is okay, but I was able to separate it. A lot of people really, really don't like Rings of Power because they screw with some stuff. But
I've never seen it, so
you could go without it.
Okay.
I reread Super Mystery, Crime for Christmas. Nancy do hi boys. This is number 2, so I reread number 1 a couple months ago, and yes, it's a Christmas story, but it's number 2 in the series. So I reread it because it was good, and I did the mood reading thing where I was like, I need impulse this.
That's fair.
And then I read The Wizard of Oz.
Which is such a pretty copy. I want it.
It is a very pretty copy. I think my favorite thing about this book is the cover. Well, that sounded bad. Let me clarify. Wizard of Oz is not my favorite classic, and it never has been. It's a classic for a reason.
It's like pulling teeth to get her to even consider it.
I just don't love The Wizard of Oz. But I love this cover. And
I hate that for you.
It is a lovely cover.
It is a lovely cover. I have it in my Amazon cart because I want it.
For anyone who's interested. It's actually... Okay. I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's a very light book. And the binding, like the stuff that I've been learning about printing and how printing presses work and it's a very cheap book. It's very cheaply made. It's not very well made. So that was a little disappointing when I got it because the cover is so gorgeous. They also have little, like the chapter headers have the little sparkles.
Aww.
But the illustrations are not good. They look janky to me. But that's not. I have another copy of The Wizard of Oz that has better illustrations than this. It feels like a little kid did it, which, it's a kid's classic, so maybe that's fine. But
I don't like that.
I was a little disappointed because the cover. That's what I meant when I said the cover is the best part of this book. Is that the inside and the binding is not very well made.
That's fair. Yeah, but it just didn't sound good the way you said it. So.
Well, it's also not my favorite classic, so it's at the top of my list. Anyways, okay, the next one I read is a picture book which I don't own, called Mermaids, Mermaids in the Sea. Are we shocked about
Hey, Catherine!
No. You made it.
Glad you made it.
Yay. We're doing okay. We're a little off on our little crazy train here, like we normally do.
Surprised. Said no one.
Yeah, so the mermaid picture book was not fantastic, but it was cute, and I like mermaids, so there was that. And then the last book was Calor. This one has been on my
finally
for like 2 years, so I'm like super excited to have finally gotten to this one. And I am deep in the middle of book 2 right now.
She waited until the books came out. I made the mistake of not doing that. So I got to the end of each book and had to wait for the next one.
I didn't do that on purpose, but I'm not mad that I did it.
I know you didn't, but it was funny because it was like, now you can just read right through them. And I'm like, I had to wait. I had to wait to find out what happened.
Heather, no, it's not the field guide that you recommended. It's... I can share my screen, can't I? Let me pull it up on Goodreads real quick. It's in Kindle Unlimited, and I saw it in Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, well, why not? Why would I? It's a picture book, and I can, like, normally I don't do picture books in Kindle Unlimited because I have like an e-reader that's just black and white, but my Nook does have color, and I was like, oh, I'll try this. So let me pull it up, and I'll show you the cover really quickly. It was okay. It was a rhyming book, and it was like nothing else. There's no plot. It was just a silly rhymes thing, which is what some people want. It was not my favorite. But I'll show you what it looks like. I hate that Goodreads changed the format of their reading challenge page. You have to click on like 8 things to finally get to the page.
Really? I haven't seen that or noticed it.
You don't really get on Goodreads very often.
Hey, I have all my January books in there.
Do you?
Thank you very much.
You.
I haven't put the February ones in there yet, but it won't be that hard. I'll get there.
Okay, I'm going to try sharing my screen. Let me see.
See how this works. We have not done this on YouTube before.
Can you see?
We can see. I can see.
Okay, this is it right here. It's called Mermaids in the Sea by Bethany Stahl. So it's just a quick little picture book. Pretty standard. But yeah, it was just a bunch of rhymes and no story. So I was hoping it had a story. It's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I read 8 books.
Wow, good job, friend.
Which is more than I read in January. So
how many did you read in January?
1, 2, 6.
Okay.
But I can only talk about 5 of them. So.
That's fair. That's fair. So what is your favorite for the month?
Okay. I'm going to say either The Unraveling of Emmeline Delane or Calor, but I'm not sure yet. So it's only March. If those become my yearly favorites, I'll have to decide between them at the end of the year. But for right now...
what is your yearly favorite then? Are those two the yearly favorites?
Oh, last month I picked Nightfall, Keeper of the Lost Cities, which is in the middle of the series. And it's a reread. So I feel like we've kind of made a rule not to pick rereads as our favorite. So it would either be Emmeline or Calor at this point. But
okay.
Undecided. I enjoyed them both for different reasons.
Yeah, they're both really, really good. I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
Cassie said, you should wait one day, just one day.
Yes.
Finish Calor in March. And I was like, no, but I want it in my February stats. And then she's like, yeah, but then you have to pick the favorite. And I was like, oh, well, it's too late now. I'm only 50 pages from the end and I need to know what happens.
Hey, your fault. Now you got to make a hard decision. I tried to help you.
I do. I will say that Atomic Habits is my favorite nonfiction of the month. And my favorite nonfiction of the year. I think it beats Unreasonable Hospitality, which was my favorite last month. Even though I really enjoyed Unreasonable Hospitality, Atomic Habits, it was just, they were both really good. But I think it might win if I picked like a nonfiction favorite of the year, which I normally do for my blog, but not for the giveaway. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Also, I missed your comment, Catherine, but thank you about the fluffy hair. It's I just washed it, so it's like twirling up a little bit right now, like a poodle or something. It happens. Okay. Surprise and challenge. Surprise and challenge. Can I say that I didn't know, and this is going to sound dumb, I did not know that the Emmeline Delane book had anything to do with The Wizard of Oz.
Which was really funny because I said, hey, friend, maybe you should reread Wizard of Oz before you start this. And she goes, no, I don't need to do that. And I was like, I think you should. I think you should. And she's like, nah, it's fine. And she didn't do it. She read it after.
Well, I wanted to read it. I was trying to read Emmeline before the launch date. And so that was more important to me than reading The Wizard of Oz beforehand. And for context, that's the first time I have read The Wizard of Oz. When I was a child, my mother read The Wizard of Oz to me and my brother. So it has been like 20-something years. No, it's not a retelling.
Mm-mm.
It's not even inspired by. It just has elements. They're story worlds. It's a big.
It's a portal fantasy.
Yeah, there's a big magical library, and The Wizard of Oz is one of the stories that's in the big magical library that they do have like some stuff to do with. But Cassie, she said, did you not look at the cover? And I was like, yeah, I looked at the cover. It's a girl in a forest. What are you talking about? Apparently, The Wizard of Oz was in the bubble on the cover that I didn't pay any attention to. So, I was looking at the girl in the forest, not the bubble on the cover. Okay.
And if I don't have them close by, but I got all the pre-order goodies. There's a sticker with the slippers on it.
That's so fun. Okay. Well, and to be fair, after I reread The Wizard of Oz, there was very little about it that I hadn't already remembered. So I feel justified in that. Right. See, Heather said she didn't notice it either. I don't know
what to tell you both. That was one of the first things I noticed. When I saw this cover, I was like, oh, Wizard of Oz.
I was like,
huh, this didn't give me Wizard of Oz vibes.
I figured that out. And it was only because you said something.
So, yeah, but it's there.
I see it now.
I mean, I know, it's fine. But I don't know, that was like the first thing I saw on this. I don't know. I loved this cover, though. When I got it in my email, because I was on the street team, we were both on the street team. When I got the email, I go, oh, it was so good.
And for further context, Cassie loves The Wizard of Oz. So,
I love Wizard of Oz.
It worked out really well. But I will say, in spite of my not loving The Wizard of Oz, it was excellent. I loved what she did with The Wizard of Oz elements. It was so good. It was such a good story. And literally from the first page, I was captivated. It was one of those books that I was like, whoa, hold on. And you don't want to put it down. So
yeah, it definitely, like, it grabs you by the collar and does not let go. So
So I think that was my biggest surprise, was I just didn't know that. And it wasn't like a bad surprise or even necessarily a good one. It was just I wasn't expecting that. So that was probably my surprise of the month.
That's fair.
Similarly, going back to my other favorite of the month, Calor, I didn't realize, and I shouldn't have read the endorsements. I should have just read the book. But I don't think I would have gotten this if I hadn't read the endorsements. One of the endorsements says that this is loosely inspired by the tale of Persephone. And I love the Greek tale of Persephone. It's one of my favorite stories. And so I was looking for those pieces as I read this book. And it was really delightful to see it done so subtly. It was so subtly thrown in there. But I thought that was kind of delightful. I enjoyed that a lot.
I need to get that DVD because I want to see Wicked again, Catherine. I love Wicked.
I've never seen the musical, though.
You have to see the musical first.
That's what I'm told. That's what I'm told.
Yeah.
I wish you could see it with like the original cast. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, but they're 25 years older. They're not going to reprise those parts.
They could do it and do the little Disney thing like they did with Hamilton. That's all I'm saying.
They won't, but that's fine.
Challenging thing. I don't know about challenging, but I was disappointed with Sea Witch. I had really hoped that I would love that because The Little Mermaid is one of my favorite stories, and it wasn't fantastic. So that would be my little bit of a downer. But I don't know that would be. It wasn't necessarily challenging to read.
It just was unfortunate.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
All right. Any guesses for how many books Cassie read this
Nobody wanted to guess. Apparently I don't know.
Oh, Catherine says she hasn't seen the musical, but her mom's a big fan.
Oh, you should see the musical. It's coming to Dallas.
I've heard the music. The music, I have liked a lot of the music that I've heard.
Yeah. Okay, so Heather guessed 20 books.
20 is a good guess. Cassie reads like a beast.
I'm pretty sure one of my record months was 20, and it might have been February or March, one of those years. I think one of the records is 22, but that was...
Girl, in 1 month?
Yes, I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, it's coming to Dallas. I will be buying tickets because I will be seeing that for sure. But Heather, you are sadly very wrong. I read a complete whopping total of 3.
Okay, and I just have to insert, I don't remember the last time that I read more books than you in a month. I don't know if this ever happened.
I mean, last year I think it did, but I think it was by like 1 book.
Close.
It was close. For this time, it was like, you've got 8 books, I got 3.
So let's start with what was challenging this month.
Reading apparently was really challenging. This whole month, like the whole month of February, was challenging. It was just so much happening. Traveling, I was babysitting a lot. It was chaos.
You went to a conference.
Yeah, that's why I was traveling. I went to a conference. I went to well, technically the second one was March 1st, but like, should be February since February is only 28 days, but that's fine. So like it was just busy and chaotic, and like I don't even know what happened. I think the times that I was not babysitting, I just needed peace and quiet because those kids were a lot, and they're the sweetest kids. Like I love them. They're so sweet, but they're twins, so
double trouble.
Double trouble, right? And it's just like from the moment I get there, it's like, Cassie, woo! And we're just like off and running, and like it doesn't stop until I put them to bed, and then it's like I just need silence. So I think that's what happened.
That's okay. Sometimes you need a little brain space, and I think, in my experience, when I've had those lower months, those reading slump kind of months, that really fuels the fire later on. And it's not like I need to catch up. It's you gave yourself space, and then you're ready to like soak up the stories again. So
yeah, I think that was another place. Like I've been reading so many books for so long that it was like I have so many books I still want to read, but I don't feel like reading any of them.
You have been pushing for several months now with your reading goals, which is great. But I do think it's probably good that you got a little bit of a break.
Yeah. So that was the challenge.
You guys out there who are challengers with us, it's okay if you have a low month. It's okay if you don't read as many as we do or as many as someone else you know does. This is not about reading a certain number of books. This is about you reading books that you want to read and finding joy in that. So any number of books that you read is exciting.
42 books in October? Girl.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think my record was like 20 something.
I haven't read near 40, but I hear it's good. It's on my list.
Yeah,
never ending list.
Our TBR list.
All right, tell us what 3 books you read this month.
Okay, so I read The Millionaire Mind by
you've been reading that one. Did you like it?
I did like it. It's better than the other one that I read. What was it? Let me look. I read another Millionaire one last month. It was what?
Oh, maybe I'm mixing them up. It's 2 different books.
It must have been last year. It wasn't the Baby Steps Millionaire. It was, Think and Grow Rich. I read that one sometime. Didn't like that one as much. I like this one better.
Okay. Was it the same author or a different author?
Different author.
Okay.
This one's a Christian. The other one hated Christianity and all religions, really. He was like
hard.
He was like, you can pray if you want to, but it's stupid, kind of a vibe when he didn't quite say it in those words, but basically was like, don't pray to higher power.
What I believe, but you don't have to attack me either.
I know. Where this guy is like, most millionaires are Christians. So I was like, cool. Then I've already got one thing going for me with becoming a millionaire. Love it. So
speaking of millionaires, super random fun fact, the average millionaire reads an average of 12 nonfiction books a year, which is why that's my nonfiction goal of the year every year.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, this is definitely my favorite for the year.
Okay.
It trumps Baby Steps Millionaire, but Baby Steps Millionaire was great, but it was a lot of information I already had, and it was just more on like the encouraging side where like there was a lot of information here that I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Now it's also 20 years old. So like they said the average millionaire owns a home that's like 300,000. And I'm like, I can't find a house for under 300,000. So like what do millionaires do nowadays? I don't really know. But I would be curious to see like how some of the statistics have changed in 20 years, but it was really interesting to like learn some of those facts.
I love that.
So that's one. This next one has some content. It's called We Hunt the Flame.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
It's very Middle Eastern inspired. Okay. So it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It does get a little steamy. And it has a lot of like spirits and stuff in it, which is a little weird. So
just people be cognizant. Just because we're reading them does not necessarily mean that we recommend them.
Yeah. I would probably, I enjoyed it. I'm reading book 2. So, like, I liked it enough to keep going. I also really want to know what happens because it was just, like, left in a cliffhanger. So, like, I felt like I needed to keep going. Okay. But, yeah, spiritually, it's a little weird. And then it does get a little steamy. I'm waiting for a non-closed door scene. I don't know if it's coming. I'm hoping it doesn't, right. But I feel like that's what she's building to. So I'm kind of like,
just be wary. Be wary.
Yeah, be wary.
What's the third one?
And the third one is in Drama Key by Ellie Richmond.
Oh, I know which one's your favorite. Because you've been talking about it.
Also, guys, this book has not come out yet. This comes out, I think, the 11th or the 10th. I can't remember. One of those days. Soon. My copy came early and I'm so excited. And it has sprayed edges. I don't know if the colors come through, but it's
I can see blue, like the blue and the purple.
And then it turns purple, so it's more purple down here. And then underneath it, look at this.
Isn't that her new, is it an Esther story?
It's not, I mean, kind of, yeah.
Okay, I feel like she had a story coming out that was...
Yeah, this would probably be it. Also, with the sprayed edges. Look.
Oh, that's cool. I love it. So what's your favorite book of the month?
This one!
I love it.
I loved this one. Also, I should say this one also has some content. It just has some more mature themes to it. So, like, nothing bad happens as on screen or anything, but it does have some mature themes. Something bad does happen to another character, and it is talked about, but you don't see it on screen.
Is there
just a warning?
Something that was surprising or delightful this month?
It wasn't delightful, but it was surprising how little I read. I don't know. Like, I mean,
that's fair.
I guess it's surprising. I didn't like. I figured I would like it because I liked her other stuff that I've read. what is it called? Mermaid's Tale and Locket's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a little weary because she did say this one has more content, which I'm fine with, but I was like, am I going to like it as much? So it was delightful and surprising to be like, no, I really liked this. And I'm really glad it didn't end up in the same month as Emily Dulaine because I could not
That's
pick.
the next question, though. What do you think your yearly favorite might be?
I can't right now because it is a tie between Emily and this one.
Okay, tie between the two is still good to know.
So, yeah.
I love it.
But yeah.
Love it. Let's see, we got a couple comments that have rolled up in here.
Yes.
The Way of Kings was good, but so much work. A huge goal to finish it in 1 month. That's a really cool goal, though.
Yeah.
So it's funny, though. Okay, she said it was 1,200 pages. Cassie and I were literally just talking like an hour ago. There is a trilogy of books that we binge read together because there was a writing opportunity that we were considering applying for, and in order to do that, we needed to have read the trilogy. But we literally had like 6 days, 6 or 7 days. I think it was like maybe it's 2 weeks. We had 2 weeks before the applications were due, and we were like, we feel like we can't, in good consciousness, apply for this thing without having read the original trilogy that the application regards.
Also, spoiler alert: we never applied, but
okay, no, and that's not to say because the books weren't good. We just
we just chose not to.
Praying about it and thinking about it, we chose that it was not the opportunity we needed to pursue at that time. And part of me is like, what would have happened if we had though? Oh,
I know. I'm like, it's
one of those what if moments. But it was 1,500 pages between the 3 books. They were like 500 or 600 pages each, I think. The number that is burned into my brain is 1,500, which makes me think it's 1,500. I read those 3 books in 6 days. 1,500 pages. I don't think I've ever read 1,500 pages in 6 days. And Cassie was not far behind, which, again,
was a miracle for me because you know how slow I read.
These were not audiobooks. Okay, so me reading 1,500 pages of physical books in 6 days is still impressive, in my humble opinion. Cassie reading 1,500 pages in 10 days for you?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a little bit longer than you, but it wasn't too much.
Like 10 or 12 days or something. Anyways, so it's funny that you mentioned the 1,200 pages in a month goal because we were just reminiscing of it. That was like 2 years ago that we did that or something.
Okay, I looked it up, and it has the complete trilogy on Goodreads, and it says 1,444 pages. Yeah,
and we read the 3 separate books. It was 1,500 pages. I'm telling you. Oh,
yeah.
It was a head rush.
And that was the week I went to Disney World with my family.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway,
so that was in there. So I'm standing in line trying to like engage with my family while also being like, yeah.
I have to read these on my deadline.
Yep.
They were really good.
Mom, love that, and like
that's fun. Anyways, so been where you are at, Catherine. Been there.
Yeah.
Heather says, I finished the 3 books I started at the end of 2024. Yay.
Woo!
No, that totally counts for this year. Because you finished them now.
Yeah.
If you finish them now, they go on this year. Totally counts. Absolutely. The most recent, The Boy Who Steals Houses. Okay. And Together We Burn. Oh, I haven't heard of that one. It sounds interesting, though. I need to read How to Train Your Dragon. I've seen the first and second movie. Loved them. I hear they're very different than the books, but I need to read those. Yeah, see, okay, the trilogy reread, I feel like it was not simple, but it was not like uber complicated either.
Yeah.
It had lots of threads, but it wasn't nearly as many as I would imagine Brandon Sanderson is.
Yeah.
So definitely count it for the channel. I'd be counting it for Goodreads. Doesn't Goodreads count on the day that you finish? That's what they do.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to look at that. Anyway, okay, a couple other things to wrap up here. We had a couple of people asking questions about how to keep track for prizes. And so we wanted to mention use your spreadsheet to track all of your reads. That way you don't lose any of them, and your bingo cards you can mark. Another thing I wanted to mention, I don't have them. I totally forgot about this.
The bingo cards?
No, I have my bingo cards. There's Andrea, who is one of our challengers. Oh, I don't have them. I'll just have to explain. Andrea is one of our challengers, and she showed me that she was doing this cool thing with her bingo card that you guys might be interested in. And Cassie, I was thinking of you and me because I have my like little erase marks on my bingo cards. But she has taken these little tabs, and I just have sticky notes as an example, but she's written the name of the book on the tab and put the tab on the square so that she can move them around until she decides where she's going to keep them permanently.
I was thinking about that because I have little mini Post-it notes, so I might have to do that.
Genius. Anyway, so I wanted to throw that out there in case any of you were struggling with that. But yeah, keep track of your reading using the reading tracker. If you need the link for that, it's in the bottom of the recap email, so you can always access it there. But speaking of prizes, two things. Yes. Cassie and I have been talking about potentially sending you guys the prize form early instead of waiting to the end of the year so that you could submit along the way throughout the year. If that's something that you feel like would be beneficial, let us know. Last year, we just sent it out at the end of the year, but there's no reason that we would have to do it that way. So if that's something
I think in years past it made sense because it was like the challenge was to read only books you owned, and you don't know if you won that until you got to the end of the year, or like TBR, only read books on your TBR. So like it made sense. Where now it's like, oh, but you could win something right now, so like,
which we'll send out prizes at the end of the year, but we could you could submit them on the form. The only thing is, if you do that, once you claim a bingo, you can't move those books around. You can't use them again. So you can't claim a bingo, move books, and claim another bingo. Not how it works. But if you want to put it into submit the form so that you don't have to think about it, and you know that you're not going to move them around, then that's fine too. So just let us know if that's something you're interested in. Then the other thing, which is what my favorite, I've been so excited about this. And I'll pull up my little list here so I don't get this wrong. And I'll put this in the recap email because I know there's a lot of people who have missed the live today. But I'm going to look over here for a second so I can read. So we have we've told you guys what the prizes are. So we have, if you earn a bingo, you can get the 2020, what is this? 2025, I have to think about the year. The 2025 bookmark. Or you could get a sticker. That's a new prize this year. We've never done that before. And you could do a digital copy of the short story that Cassie and I are going to write this year, which we haven't written yet, but we will. So those are the three prizes you can get if you earn a bingo. For those who earn blackouts, which is blacking out an entire card, you earn entries into the giveaway. Our first blackout has been called, so that person will earn a physical copy of the short story. And then we are still doing the giveaway at the end of the year where two winners will get Cassie's favorite book or my favorite book and a physical copy of the short story and a sticker and a bookmark and all the things. So those are the prizes that we've already announced. But Cassie and I have been talking, and we're like, you guys are kind of hitting, like, we've had several people call bingo. And we're so excited that you guys are calling bingo and that this is working and motivating and all that. So we're going to add two more prizes after that you can use for when you call bingo. And we'll probably make like a graphic or something that makes this a little bit easier to understand and put it in the recap email and all that jazz. But so your bingo prizes, again, you can get a bookmark, you can get a sticker, and you can get the 2025 short story. That's a digital copy of that one. Additionally, we're going to open up the ability for you to, if you choose, earn the 2024 and the 2023 short stories. So if you want a digital copy of those.
Digital copies, to be clear.
Yes, digital copies. And if you didn't get them because you weren't in one of the past challenges, this would be your opportunity. So we just wanted to add new prizes because why would we not want to add more prizes? Because
exactly.
They're just awesome like that. So let's see. Anyway, okay. Comments. Haven't read How to Train Your Dragon either. I I have heard they're very different than the movies, but they're still really good. So I do want to read those. It bothers you that it's on a different year, so you move it to the last year? Girl, you know what? You do you. You do what you need to do. But I'm like, no,
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah, same.
Catherine says, oh, she got the prize from last year. Yay! I'm glad that finally got delivered. We were running a little behind on those this year, but
yeah,
we're hoping to take precautionary steps to prevent that next year.
We waited too long to write the story was the problem.
We tried to do it while Cassie was doing Nano, and then in December, I have so many church responsibilities, plus it's just December and people have crazy things anyway, and we should have started it in the summer like we did the first year, and so we are going to either do the spring or the summer this year, and not the fall. That's what's going to happen, so. Catherine says she has a similar OCD thing, the challenge. Didn't read all these things. So that's true. That is true. I think the only time that has ever bothered me is the year that I read through the entire Bible, but I didn't read through it in a calendar year. And so I literally half the 1,500 pages or something, however many pages this is, was in one year, but the other half was in the other year, and it was credited to the year that I finished it in. And that's the only time that has bothered me, is because I was like, no, but you don't understand. For 8 months last year, I was reading these pages.
That's fair. That would be frustrating.
But I pretty quickly got over that. I'm at the point where I'm meeting my Goodreads goal, no matter what it takes. So that's all we have for this.
One more announcement.
Cassie has one
more announcement. I'm hosting a goal setting webinar on the 15th of March at 1 p.m. Central. So if you are interested in that, we'll send out a link in the email so you can register.
That's next week.
I know.
Oh, I did not know that you had set the date for that. I missed that.
That was it. That's what I said earlier today. It's in the email I sent out last week.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
We were talking about 2 different webinars today and didn't realize it.
I got confused. That's entire because I opened that email looking for the live stream link, not the webinar date.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time I'm offering 2 different kinds of tickets, though. You could buy a ticket just to the webinar, or you could buy a ticket for the webinar and a coaching session.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh, I like it. Up in your game.
Yeah. Up in it because it went over so well last time. I was like, I might as well.
Well, I attended the last month and it was great. So and we do a lot of goal setting stuff here with the challenge. So if that's something that you're interested in, Cassie's really good at kind of walking you through a very practical but encouraging process. So she can help you line up some goals outside of your reading.
Yes.
I mean, you could use it for reading, but kind of we've already outlined that for the year for you guys here. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, we could talk a little bit more about it, and it doesn't have to be specifically goal setting. So you could take the goal setting webinar and then use the session to talk about how to implement, how to manage your time to, be able to follow through on those goals that you set. So yeah. Totally Thank you, Heather. I appreciate you, friend. I miss you.
Yes. All right. Is that all we have for the day?
I think that's all we have. And I know we went way long today.
Okay. We did go a little long, but we had some fun surprises at the end. So prize tracking form. Let us know if you want that early. And don't forget your normal reading tracker that Cassie works so hard on and is fabulous. Webinar next week. If you want to join that, where can they do that if they're interested?
We'll send that in a link in the follow-up email.
I'll put the link in the follow-up email. Yeah. And
probably the easiest way to do that.
Our first Zoom chat is going to be next month. So it probably isn't going to make it in the recap email. I may have to send out another email about that. But keep an eye out for April dates. We'll have our normal April live, just like normal. And the Zoom chat will also be in April for the first time. So yes. I think that's all the announcements. Happy reading. Thanks for joining.
Yes. Thanks for coming, y'all. It was so fun chatting with y'all. And yes, Heather, whenever you come back, I'll see you. Of course, we're on Instagram in here, so we can.
Oh, Catherine says her bingos are not in sight because she's working on a long series.
Well,
Good.
spoiler, I have not filled out any of my bingo cards because I'm too like hesitant to commit books to any squares. But now that I have, yes, I need to do that. Maybe I'll do that tonight while
I
we
haven't
watch
put
the
my
movie.
February reads on bingos yet. I only did January, so I've got to figure that out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, keep reading, earn some bingos, earn some prizes, and we'll see you in a month.
Yes. See y'all next month.
Bye, guys.
Bye.